Hello! 7 months ago, I released the January skirt and you guys have been loving it, but I want to show you a couple different ways to alter it and make it a little bit different in case you want to make multiple of them or you have a different style and you think some of these styles are going to be better than others. The first one is turning the skirt into a handkerchief skirt. Now, this is the one that's going to feel the most different. I'm going to be altering some of the yoke pattern pieces and then creating a handkerchief skirt. If you've not made it before, it is technically just a square. This does feel very, very different to the actual January skirt, and I've had a lot of people ask me to create a pattern for it. So if you feel like this is too different and you want to do something a little bit simpler, totally get it. Just wait for the pattern to come out. Don't worry about it. The second style is I'm going to show you how to do an adjustable waist. So the made to order January skirts actually have a low waisted skirt. The pattern comes in a low waist and a high waist pattern. You're welcome. What I used to do is have ties coming out from the side and you can tighten it like this. Zoop. Actually, I'm going to show ya. Low waist, ties that come out from the side. And you go zoop, tie it. High waist. Huh? Get a little bow at the back. So this is actually quite simple. You just add ties to the side and I'm just going to show you how to do that with the pattern itself. And the last one is going to be a more simple version of the January skirt. It's going to be the high-waisted version, but the bottom panel isn't going to have any tiers. I'm just going to make the first layer long. The instructions to do that is actually already in the pattern in this page. So if you just want to go and follow that, you can do that, but I'll be showing you how to do it through a video. I'm really excited about it. I really, really have been loving all these skirts. I've been loving seeing how other people have been making it. If you want to see how other people are making it, you can check out my listing. All my testers have made so many incredible variations, but also if you look up the hashtag January skirt hashtag, you'll see people who've made it since the launch. So also my Etsy review page has a ton of people who's made it in beautiful ways. So without further ado, let's get started. The first is the handkerchief skirt. I'm working with a few scraps from the same fabric, so I'm kind of piecing it all together. I originally got the fabric from Ultimate Craft in Camden, but I think I've seen the same one for cheaper actually at Wilcrest Trading. I have one piece that's already a square, so I'm going to start with the skirt. Handkerchief skirts are super simple. You have a really big square and then you cut a hole in the middle to fit your waist. For a regular handkerchief skirt, you make this hole your waist measurement and use the circumference equation to find the radius to cut it out. If you remember this from school, it's C equals 2 pi r. C being the circumference, aka your waist, and r being the radius. And with a little bit of algebra, you'll be able to figure out your waist. Super quick example, if your waist is 30 inches, you divide that by 2 pi, pi being 3.14, and you have a radius of 4.77. For this skirt though, because I want to have a yoke, I'm going to measure the bottom of the yoke, which is what will meet the skirt, to find the circumference. This will be a little bit bigger than my waist, so I wanted to get an accurate reading. This, however, is where I made my first mistake. I ended up cutting off the bottom of the yokes later, so the measurement I'm taking here ended up being too big, which made the hole I cut out too big. This isn't actually too bad of a thing because it's actually a very common thing to happen because the circle has sections that are on the bias and the bias will warp and pull, so it naturally gets bigger. So I'll be able to show you how to fix that. Generally, when calculating the radius, I round down to combat some of that stretching and warping. I started by evening out the edges following the tartan print, and then to make cutting easier and quicker, I'm folding the square in 4 so that the middle of the skirt is at a corner. This is also where you can measure your square and even it out if you want to. I measure the radius from the corner with chalk and cut it out. I also cut down one of the fold lines to create an opening so that I can get in and out of the skirt and insert a zipper. Next, I cut out the yoke pieces as per the instructions. With the tartan, I like to cut the back pieces individually so I can take the first one and face it down on the fabric to match the print exactly. Now, to get rid of the dip in the front and the back, which you want to do if your skirt isn't gathered because otherwise the fabric won't fall flat, you want to cut off 3 inches from the center back. So that means that you measure 3 inches from the bottom at center back. Mark that and use a French ruler to connect it to the bottom of the side seam. This doesn't have to be perfect, you just want it to look smooth, and then you can cut off the excess. Repeat the same for the front yoke, but you only want to cut off 2.5 inches at the front, not 3. This isn't some magical number, it's just that when I was designing the pattern, I made the front yoke dip 2.5 inches and the back yoke dip 3 inches. In an ideal world, this new line is what I would have measured as a circumference to calculate my radius, but we are not in an ideal world, and everyone makes mistakes, and that's okay. I'm not going to get too much into detail on the construction of the skirt because there's a whole tutorial on that and I don't want to bore you, but you want to construct the yokes and add the waistband as you would in the original instructions. And now to attach the skirt, you're going to put in a stay stitch. This is something I tell you to do for the yokes in the instructions because any curved edge has a risk of warping because it is on the bias. Adding a stay stitching, which is generally a slightly longer stitch a hair inside of your seam allowance, stops it from warping too much. It's also very helpful because it can act like a gathering stitch if you want to, which we will in a second. To attach the skirt to the yokes, I found the middle point of the skirt and pinned it to the middle of the yoke, and then also pinned the opening, aka the center back. And make sure you're not accidentally pinning it to the wrong side of the yoke like I am here. You should be pinning right sides together. And then you see me completely eyeball the rest. I found a rough middle point of the skirt and pinned it to the side seams, and I kept cutting the sections in half like that until the whole thing was roughly evenly pinned. If you want to be more precise, you can measure 1/4 of your circumference and pin that to the side seams of the yokes. As I'm pinning, I'm pulling on the bobbin of my stay stitching just a little bit to make the skirt fit the yokes. This is called easing rather than gathering because we're gathering so little, but because I measured wrong, there's a little bit more easing than usual, which is going to result in tiny puckers, but it doesn't bother me and it's actually truly nothing that I can do about it at this point. I sewed that seam down with a 1/2 inch seam allowance and I tried it on at this point and I was scared, guys. I hated the length. I would have made it longer if I had the chance to, but I didn't because I had so little fabric. So I attached some pleats with the leftover fabric that I had and tried to create a little bit of a gather to see if I liked it, and I decided to do that. I then finished the zipper and the waistband as per the skirt instructions and then got working on the pleats. So with the pleats, I had so little fabric left, so I cut up every little bit of fabric that I had. I think they were about 5 inches wide strips, and I sewed them all together with the serger to save as much of the fabric as possible. Some of these pieces were just a few inches long. I truly was using everything that I had. I also serged the bottom and hemmed it by turning it up once. I did all of that and I still had barely enough. When you're creating a ruffle, you usually measure out how much you need. So for a handkerchief skirt, I'd measure the perimeter of the square, aka the bottom hem, and you multiply that by however much you want. So somewhere between 1.5 and 3, depending on how intense you want your ruffles to be, and then you cut that out and then you gather it down. The January skirt is designed so that the upper layer is multiplied by 1.5 and a lower layer and the bottom ruffle are both multiplied by 2. There is a lot of gathering that gets done, and pleats are a little bit different because if you want to make a full pleat, you need to multiply the fabric by 3, which I wasn't even close to having. So I kind of worked the other way around. I divided the ruffle piece in 4 and pinned it evenly around the bottom of the skirt, and then I hand pleated small pleats individually and left about 1 inch in between each pleat. This is all completely eyeballed, and there are definitely sections that are pleated a little bit more tightly than others, but I really didn't mind. I just wanted to look like it had pleats, and I don't think you can really tell at all. I did have to undo some of the pleats because I'd get to the next pin section and realize I had too little fabric or too much, so I would take the pins out and redo the pleats to make it as even as possible. And once all pinned, I sewed it down with a 1/2 inch seam allowance. The key to pleats is to give it a really, really good press. This is what gives it its crisp look. So I'll hold it down with one hand and then give it a good press with the other. And guys, I really like this skirt. It's only my second handkerchief skirt, but the first one had ruffles and 2 different layers and it was just very jazzed up. So this one feels a lot more sophisticated. And I'm actually only saying this after being really unsure about it at first, but I've worn it reeling, which is what I made it for. And it was really fun spinning around in it. So if you're feeling a little bit unsure about a handkerchief skirt, I would really recommend you try it because you might like it more than you think. Okay, on to the next one, the adjustable waist. For this one, you want to cut the low waist version of the yokes. The low waist ones are about 4 inches wider around the hip, so it falls lower on your waist. If you want to make it even more low waist, you can always size up, or you can cut about 1 inch from the top all the way around at the waist, and that'll make the waist bit even bigger and therefore fall lower on your body. The 2 ties on the side are 3 inches wide and 40 inches long strips when they're cut. So on right sides together with a 1/2 inch seam allowance, they end up 1 inch wide at their final form. I've conveniently lost the footage to this clip, but I do make the exact same straps in my June top tutorial if you want to have a bit more of an in-depth look. And the key is when you get to the end of the strap, you want to pivot and sew diagonally towards the fold of the fabric. You do this by lowering your needle, lifting your presser foot, pivoting your fabric, lowering your presser foot, and then you keep sewing. This is purely decorative, but I think it's really pretty to have a pointed ribbon. You then cut off the excess fabric at the tip to reduce bulk, and you want to turn it inside out. There's a ton of different ways to do this. I like to kind of judge the back of this paintbrush that is pointy but has a dull tip so it doesn't tear the fabric, and I push the end of the strap into itself and push it out the other open end. Repeat this once more until you have 2 straps and then give them a really good press. To get the tips nice and crisp, you can use a pin to gently pull out the fabric, and then you can set these to the side. So the waistband is the one that looks a little bit different from the original pattern. Each yoke is going to have its own waistband piece, and then we're going to construct it all together rather than constructing the yokes and then adding the waistband all in one piece. To do this, you can take the waistband pattern and make it 2 inches longer. That's how much extra fabric you'll be needing because we're going to create 2 seams at the side seams of the waistband. The seam allowance is 1/2 inch, so that's 1 inch on each side, 2 inches total. But because the waistband is just a rectangle, I cut it out directly by measuring on the fabric. All of my rectangular pattern pieces have the dimensions written out in the instructions, so if you don't want to print out a bunch of paper, then you can also just follow that guide. Anyways, to create individual waistband pieces, I measured the top of the yoke including all the seam allowance. For example, this piece was 9 5/8 of an inch, and I cut the same amount from the waistband. Then you can sew each waistband piece to its corresponding yoke piece, right sides together with a 1/2 inch seam allowance. But if you want to make things even faster, and I always want to make things even faster, without cutting the waistband individually, I like to place the waistband on top of the yokes and sew it all in one line, like you can see here, without measuring, and then cut the waistband at each of those seams. If you do this, be super careful not to pull on the yokes here. If you stretch them out, the skirt will fit bigger than intended, and you don't want that. I have done this a million times, so I know that I won't, but if you're not used to handling bias cut pieces, then I recommend you measure your waistband, cut each piece, and attach them individually. And this is where the magic happens. Take your straps that we made earlier and place it on the front yoke, right sides together. Each strap should have the opening, the non-finished edge matching the raw edges of your side seam, and you want the strap to be placed just above the seam where the yoke meets the waistband. Remember, you're sewing this to the waistband at the side seams. Do this with roughly 3/8 of an inch seam allowance, anything inside of the 1/2 inch seam allowance, to make sure that the stitches don't show through later. Repeat on both sides and your ties are in. And then, because like me, you probably forgot to include the belt loops, which you do need for this design, you're going to find the 1/3 and 2/3 points of the stitching, unpick that, insert your 2-inch long belt loops, and stitch that opening closed. This is all included in the original tutorial as well, but I just always forget. Back to business. Face the front yoke and back yokes right sides together, and sew both seams with a 1/2 inch seam allowance. Once done, press the seam open. And ta-da! You now have 2 waist sides coming out of the side seams. You can fold the waistband down so that all the raw edges are hidden, and then finish the skirt as you would per the pattern instructions. Make all of your layered ruffle, attach it to the yokes, insert the zipper, finish your seams, finish the waistband, and boom. You now have a beautiful skirt that's adjustable in the back. Feed your waist size through the belt loops, and you can tighten it to fit the smallest part of your waist. You can adjust the amount of belt loops that you want based on your size as well. If you feel like 2 is too much, you can always have just 1 on each side around your princess line. If you want to have 3 on each side and have a total of 6, you can totally do that. I find that for me 2 is a good number, but definitely play around to find out how many belt loops you want at the back. This was actually for a client order, so I'm super excited to send it to them, and I hope they like it. And for the last pattern hack, I think I've saved the best one for last. This is genuinely one of my favorite skirts, and it looks quite different to the original design, which I really like. I love that with one pattern, you can make so many different looking pieces. Not to toot my own horn, but this is essentially a simpler version of the January skirt. You can totally use the original pattern piece of the upper layer and just lengthen it to save yourself some hassle, but I wanted to make it more gathered. As I mentioned earlier, the upper layer is only 1.5 times wider than what it's sewn to. I didn't make it 2 times because that increases the amount of fabric that is needed for the tiers below that by so much. For every inch that I add to the upper layer, I'm adding 2 inches to the lower layer and 4 inches to the bottom ruffle. So it's just a lot. But as someone who loves volume, I wanted this skirt to be as voluminous as my bottom tier would have been. So you can measure the bottom of the yokes like we did in the first skirt and multiply that by the amount that you want, and that will be the width of your fabric. I once again, shocker to everyone, eyeballed it and I just tried to use as much fabric as I could. I cut out the yokes as normal and also a bunch of 3-inch wide strips to make some extra ties later. When folded in half, they're 1.5 inch wide, and sewn with a 3/8 of an inch seam allowance, you end up with a 3/8 of an inch wide tie. We'll get to that in a bit. To make the actual skirt, I did French seams, so it's nice and pretty on the inside. If you've never done this before, you sew your panels wrong sides together first, trim the excess down to about 1/8 of an inch, press down, and then face your fabrics right sides together. Press and then sew this down with a 1/4 of an inch seam allowance. This basically encases the raw edges on the inside of the seam and leaves the inside of your garment really, really pretty. It doesn't help that this fabric doesn't have a right side and not wrong side, but you get the gist. Okay, now to make the top of the skirt panel. There's a great visual inside the instructions if you'd rather look at that. But essentially, the shape of the skirt dips by 3 inches at the center back and 2.5 inches at the center front, like I mentioned earlier. So to make the skirt's hem even, we need to take out those amounts at the respective areas. This sounds more complicated than it actually is. Fold your skirt in half to find the center front, and again, to leave a mark at the side seams. At the center back, I marked 3 inches down and then drew a connecting line to the side seam, and I repeated the same thing at the front, but this time with 2.5 inches. Remember that the front is in a fold right now. You want to cut on this line and you have your skirt panel. The rest of the construction is the same, and if you haven't yet, get yourself a gathering foot because it will change your life, I promise you. It's gonna have like little bows. I'm very proud of myself because this was feeling like a lot of fabric and I was really worried that it was too much fabric, and I did the math and I decided to take it from a 4x to a 3x. So when you're gathering, you wanted to have it gathered somewhere between 1.5 to 3 times. 4 felt like a lot and I didn't want it to just not fit on this seam, so I cut some off from the back. And I'm really glad I did that because it is looking very see-through. So I'm gonna cut a lining. It's just gonna be the same front piece and back piece yoke. And I'm just gonna maybe even like hand sew it in just so that if I'm like tucking any shirt in, you don't see the difference. This isn't too bad because I'm wearing like a bright pink pair of shorts, but I don't wanna have to like only be able to wear nude colored underwear. So that'd be annoying. This is gorgeous and I love her. Okay, I show you how to make the ties in the tutorial as well, but it's super straightforward. Fold the top out so that it ends up on the inside when turned inside out, and sew it down like I said with a 3/8 of an inch seam allowance. And when you get to the bottom, repeat the same step, fold the end away and finish sewing. Repeat this with as many ties as you want. I did 2 longer ones to put on the side seams because the shapes of the yoke makes it sit higher, and then 4 smaller ones to put on the front and the back. I turned them inside out with a loop turner and gave it a really good press. Also, this is your sign to press your fabric before you gather it because I did not do that and I regretted it. I ended up putting a lining in because the fabric was quite see-through, which sounds more complicated than it is. Basically, I attach the top of the yoke of the lining to the raw edge of the waistband that ends up on the inside of the skirt. So when the waistband is folded down, the lining is on the inside. And then I hand finished all the raw edges, so the center back as well as the curved seam where the yoke meets the skirt. This feels tedious, but it's so much cleaner than doing a stitch in the ditch, and I always find that it's so worth it. For the hem, I wanted it to be a little bit thicker, so I did an inch wide rolled hem, which essentially means I folded the hem twice by an inch and then sewed it down. To attach the ties, fold them in half to find the halfway point, and you can totally choose where you place these. Like I said earlier, I had 2 long ones at the side seams, which is what the original January skirt design has, and then I evenly spaced the other 2. If you want to be super precise, you can measure the bottom of the yoke at the front, divide that measurement by 3, and place your ties that measurement from the side. I think mine was about 6 inches from the side seams. And when sewing it down, I like to do a big tack, so I'll go back and forth a couple of times to make sure that the ties are securely attached. And you can also sew them down once they are tied in a bow if you want the bows to look a specific way and to not move, but I like to be able to make the bows bigger or smaller depending on how I'm feeling. And then you're done! I hope you guys found this video helpful. Please comment down if you want any other tutorials, hacks for all my other patterns. I'm thinking of filming a tutorial for shirring soon, so let me know if that's of any interest. If you want to try making the January skirt, it is linked below with a special YouTube discount. I absolutely love seeing how you guys create your pieces from the patterns, and I can't wait to see them. Love you! And sewn with a 3/8 of an inch, and sewn with a 3/8 and sewn with a 3/8 of an inch seam allowance. You end up with a 3/8 inch. You end up with a 3/8 of an inch.